Hi, this is Greg. Look for my book, The Agile Brand, on Amazon or on my website at theagile.world. Welcome back to the Agile World podcast. This is Greg Kihlstrom. Last couple episodes, I've talked about the first two stages of four in how I've described the evolution of branding. The first stage is brand as object, where names, logos, product names are really enough to differentiate yourself. It's really enough to be noticed and remembered by your name or logo. The next stage was brand as idea, where when there's so many logos, so many names, so many products to choose from, you have to really get inside your consumers' heads and occupy a space there of, what is the problem that you solve? What is the action that you allow them to perform? What is the experience that they will consistently have? The next step in the evolution is brand as experience. So after the Googles and Kleenexes and Xeroxes and Band-Aids of the world all kind of occupied these places in people's minds, all of a sudden there's that world kind of gets competitive as well, and it gets overcluttered. So brands needed to really move beyond simply occupying a place where they were promising an idea to really offering an overall experience. A great example I use of this is Disney. They started making cartoons, short one-way experiences. And started, back in the day doing that. They moved on to doing theme parks, so a much more fully immersive experience. Moved on to more, even doing even more feature films, doing interactive work, all of that. So much so that now they teach other brands about experience and how to have better experiences. They understood that as time went on, it wasn't enough to just show a story to people. They needed to immerse people in the story. If they gave people characters to embrace, characters to dress up like, to participate with, to interact with, all of those types of things, they really drew people into that. I think Disney really doubled down with that, even with their acquisition of properties like Marvel and Star Wars, these universes that allow people to really fully embrace a mythology. That type of universe may not apply to every brand, but I think there's something that everyone can get from it. It's this idea that it's not just, the sale doesn't stop at the purchase. It's something where the brand needs to go well beyond a simple transaction. People actually want that. They want to know that their problems, their ongoing challenges will be solved. It may not always be through entertainment. And the problems may not always be, dire or things like that. Sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it is someone needs to laugh. That can be a challenge that gets solved by a brand. Sometimes it is much more serious. But this idea that a brand is there, that there's an expectation when I engage with a brand, when I buy a product, when I go into a store, all of those types of things, I will have a good experience, and also I will have a consistent experience. From one time to another, it will be the same, or it will be just as good. It may be a little bit different as far as the medium that I'm connecting with, but it will always be a good experience. That shared vocabulary that I talked about several episodes ago, when I talk with someone versus when I chat with someone online versus when I go in a store, talk on the phone, a consistent vocabulary, a consistent tone, and a consistent personality is expressed through messaging, through conversations, through all of those types of communications. That is really what goes into building a brand experience. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about the latest evolution, brand as relationship. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please rate the show on iTunes or contact me through my website at theagile.world. You can find my books, The Agile Brand and The Agile Web, on Amazon and on my website at theagile.world.